The following program is sponsored by Blessing Health System, Indian Hills Community College, and Schottenkirk Automotive Group.
Congratulations, graduates. Hello, I am Maureen Kahn, President and Chief Executive Officer of Blessing Health System and Blessing Hospital, the sponsor of this important recognition program. It is important because of what you have accomplished. Not every student completes high school. Yet the world grows more complex every day, and we need the next generation of leaders ready to accept the challenges, people just like you. You may not see yourself as a leader. As a student, I did not see myself as a leader either, yet here I am. This is where life led me, and my education prepared me for that amazing journey. Your life will lead you places you can't imagine today, but you have taken a major step in preparing for the journey. You have earned your high school diploma. I will close you with a quote to help guide you on your journey from a great American educator, Dr. Seuss, in his book, Oh, the Places You Will Go. You have the brains in your head, you have the feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know, and you are the one who'll decide where to go. Congratulations, graduates.
Greetings to all 2020 graduating high school seniors. We at Indian Hills Community College want to wish you the very best in your future. We know your senior year didn't turn out quite the way you had planned, but we also believe in you and know you will do great things in the future. Congratulations.
4 years ago, we began our journey at Clark County High School. If you were like me, it was exciting and nerve-wracking all at once. What an adventure we've been on since. It's been 4 years of laughs, memories, prayers, and maybe a few tears, but it has all led to this moment. As the first class to have a graduation outside, I'd say this has definitely been a year to remember. With achievements in academics, band, and athletics, there is a wide range of things to be celebrated about the class of 2020. I once read that time is a currency you can only spend once. I would argue this after hearing Mr. Dooley say "one more time" at band practice, but looking back, I realized how true this was. We have all spent a lot of hours here, most of which I personally wouldn't want back, because high school was a time to learn and grow. Those hours have been spent at Friday night football games, school dances, and laughing with classmates and teammates. These are also times we've gotten to share with family, like when I used to ride home from school with my sister and tell her every single moment of my day. And friends, like when I carpooled to and from dance camp this past summer. And even teachers, like when I would tell Miss Kemper why the latest book I had read had frustrated me. While we will never have this time back, that's okay, because we can always hold on to the memories we've made. Moving forward, we're all going in different directions, but we can move forward with confidence because Clark County High School has given us a foundation to be successful in the future, which I am grateful for. In our time here, we've all had the opportunity to join clubs and/or teams that have made a difference in our future. Some of us have thrived in FFA. Meanwhile, many of us enjoyed working with service-centered organizations like FCCLA or SAD. Other students have become better business leaders through FBLA, and some of us have even become state-ranked athletes. I especially have enjoyed my time dancing, cheering, and marching. With opportunities in so many different areas, there was a lot to learn, but I think the class of 2020 did really well. These 4 years have also been spent learning, and one thing I've realized is that all of you have helped shape me into the person I am today. Interacting with all of you these past 4 years in hallways, in class, or in sporting events has helped me learn how to treat others and how I want to be treated. Hopefully, in some way, for some of you, I was able to do the same. My time in high school has helped me understand that each day gives you a chance to do your best, and that each person you meet has the opportunity to teach you something you didn't know before, if you let them. But it's up to you what you learn from the interaction, good or bad. So be open to new people, be open to new lessons, and don't close yourself off from what life has to offer. I encourage you all to be kind when given the chance. Words can be powerful, so use them wisely. One of the most important lessons I learned that will always stick with me is that the best friends can be in the most unlikely places. It is never too late to grow in unexpected ways. Nothing is a given, no matter how made up your mind is, so don't put limitations on what you can achieve. I would also like to say that I'm grateful for my family and everyone who took the time to support me and answer my many questions, because without them, I'd never be standing here today. I'm sure at least some of you can relate to that. Mom, thank you for all the love and support you have given me over the years. You were always there for me when I needed you, even at recital, where I was undoubtedly a pain every year. You never failed to show me what hard work really looks like. Dad, thank you for quizzing me for hours each year before my tests, even if you did fall asleep after each question halfway through. You were always in my corner when I needed you. Mackenzie, thank you for the countless laughs and tough love. Without you, I don't think I ever would have learned to drive myself to school. But the most important thing is thank you for being the best friend I could have ever asked for. To the class of 2020, I want to leave you with this thought from Dr. Seuss. Life is too short to wake up with regrets. So love the people who treat you right, forgive the ones who don't, and believe that everything happens for a reason. If you get a chance, take it. If it changes your life, let it. Nobody said it would be easy. They just promised that it would be worth it. After today, we will most likely never be gathered like this again. So let's make sure to seize the opportunities presented to us, be open to all the people and places life has to offer, and remember where we all began, because every day is a chance to make a change that means something. Thank you.
But don't let the past 4 years define who you are. Don't let an award or the lack of one give you more or less worth. From today forward, you do not have to fit the image you've been given in high school. You have the power to decide your own destiny, hopes, and even dreams.
It was a normal autumn day at Clark County High School. The parking lot was full, students were scrambling to get to classes. Mr. Reardon could be heard down the hall lecturing about the Leviathan. Mid-mornings, the clouds rolled in, and the rain started to come down. Fifth hour came around. Some of us were at lunch, others were sitting in class, staring at the clock, waiting for lunch. Crack! The lights go out. Everybody panics. Teachers are frantically looking for flashlights. Students are not remaining calm, even though Mr. Harper is pacing around trying to make us remain calm. We learn that lightning has struck the electrical box outside. Everything is chaos. Do you remember that day? On what was supposed to be a completely normal day, we were left in the dark. What we didn't know then, this day signified how the rest of our year would go. We were having a pretty great year, the best year of our lives, but then, on March 16th, the lights go out, and they never come back on. Even though our class has had to endure this over the last several weeks, today I make a very, very bold proclamation. The class of 2020 is the greatest class in the history of Clark County High School. Let me say that again. The group of people graduating today is the greatest group of individuals to ever walk the halls of Clark County High School. Now, I recognize that I am speaking to a multitude of Clark County graduates, representing a whole slew of generations to graduate from our fine institution. So, Sorry to offend you, but my claim still remains. One might ask, you say that your class is so great, huh? Well, how do we define greatness? That is a fantastic question. Let us start with what has taken place on this very field. There is no doubt, with 4 All-Staters in the mix, with 3 consecutive district championships and 2 state quarterfinal games, our senior boys know how to play some football, and that's something to be proud of. How about those Lady Indian softball players? Our senior softball players consist of academic all-state, all-district, all-conference athletes, Indian Pride Award recipients, RBI record holders, batting average leaders, MVPs, home run homies, and the list goes on. Our girls are leaders, on and off the field, and that's something to be proud of. I hear that our class has some folks that really know how to run. With 100% of our cross-country runners being 4-time state qualifiers, 100% being 4-time all-conference runners, with 3-time Clarence Cannon Conference championships and multiple state medals, our cross-country runners know what it takes to push themselves to the limits and literally stride for excellence. Now that's something to be proud of. You know, with all of this said, still, one of the most memorable nights that I have ever had was when I got to sit up right up there in that press box and watch the Powdered Donuts make the best comeback in flag football history. That's right, it was the girls of 2020 that won the Powder Puff Football Championship 2 years in a row. Now that's something to be proud of. All the while, my favorite memories were those glorious Tuesday and Friday nights on the second row of the gymnasium, with the pep band playing, the white T squad gleaming, and the crowd going wild for our basketball players. With 2 conference championships, all conference and all district players, 3 seasons with over 18 wins, our boys basketball players are the greatest demonstration of teamwork, talent, and tenacity that our court has ever seen. Now that's something to be proud of. Of course, we know there is only one group that can match our Indians. That is our Lady Indian basketball players. With 2 conference titles, 2 district titles, 2 Elite 8 appearances, 1 Final Four appearance, and over 88 games won in 4 years, our Lady Indian basketball team is the most talented and classy around. And that's something to be proud of. Many of these athletes can do what they do only because of the conditioning they put in during track season. This is evident by the outstanding success of our track team. With all conference athletes, district champions, sectional champions, state champions, and school record holders in the 100, 200, 1600, and 3200 meter dashes and discus, our boys track athletes are by far the best we've ever seen. Did I mention the girls have multiple conference, district, and sectional champion titles, along with multiple state medals? And let's be honest with ourselves here. We know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that if our track athletes would have been able to compete this year, we would have had numerous people standing at the podium receiving state medals. It's just a fact. And you know what? That's something to be proud of. With a golfer that qualified for the sectional tournament twice, and a baseball team that was a part of the first district championship ever in Clark County, we know full well that our athletes would have amazed us if they were given the chance. And that's something to be proud of. It is obvious to me, given the facts, that when it comes to athletics, the class of 2020 has got to be the greatest class to ever graduate from Clark County High School. It is incredible to think that there is so much more talent to be honored. We have a choir program that consistently wins the highest ratings around, making the most beautiful music around. We have a band winning parade after parade, field show after field show, contest after contest, all because of the diligence and hard work of our senior band members. Do you remember that sight and sound of the red and white suits gracefully marching the streets of New York City on St. Patrick's Day? Well, if you don't, the rest of the world remembers, because they were absolutely phenomenal. Now that's something to be proud of. Our school just simply would not be all that it is without the artists that take our breath away, musicians that uplift us, photographers that wow us, and everyone in between. Fine arts at Clark County is more than just fine, it is truly amazing. And that's something to be proud of. By nature of this ceremony, I need not expound on the great academic achievements of our class. Needless to say, we've got some pretty smart cookies, especially those who are part of Clark County's prized Scholar Bowl team. Having won numerous matches, oftentimes by over 100 points, I assure you, our senior Scholar Bowlers would blow your mind with the knowledge they possess. And that's something to be proud of. Personally, my high school experience was made by the Vocational Technical Education Department at Clark County. Our FBLA seniors have medaled in multiple district competitions over the last 4 years, not to mention numerous state qualifiers and fun times listening to Reba McEntire on the school bus. And that's something to be proud of. Our FCCLA chapter is much, much more than cooking and cleaning. Amongst numerous other service projects, we worked months doing everything possible to bring the best Veterans Day assembly the tri-state area has ever seen, so our brave men and women who have sacrificed their livelihoods for our safety can receive the respect and honor they deserve. Now that's something to be proud of. I hear the Clark County FFA has been doing some pretty cool stuff. As a matter of fact, I hear that for the second year in a row, out of 348 chapters, we have been named a top 25 chapter in the state of Missouri, all while having 6 seniors receive their state degrees, and even someone named Area 3 Star Farmer. FFA exists to instill an attitude of learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, and living to serve in our members. And nobody does that better than the Clark County FFA chapter. That's something to be proud of. We've examined a lot of evidence supporting my claim that this class is the greatest class in the history of Clark County High School. You know what? None of this proves that claim to be true. Let me tell you what I think of when I think of my fellow classmates. I tell this story not for pity or for praise, but to help you understand the essence of who we are. When I moved here in 4th grade, it was a very difficult season of my life. Not only was I trying to make new friends, I was trying to adjust to a new home. It was also the year we had the mold overtake the elementary schools, if you remember those fun times. On top of all that, about 2 weeks into the school year, I was told some news that was hard to hear. A doctor explained to me that because I had been diagnosed with a degenerative hip disease, I probably would never play football or basketball. Baseball was risky, and I'll have a limp for many years to come. So, not only was I the new kid who didn't know anybody, I was the new kid who didn't know anybody and who walked like a duck. To make a long story short, about a year later, I underwent massive surgery in Baltimore, Maryland. I spent 3 weeks away from home. I was homesick. I missed my friends. I missed my school. I missed my life. I'll never forget the evening I finally returned home. There was a surprise for me hanging on the wall. This poster, which was signed by all of my classmates, hung on the wall that night. I stared at that poster. I read the piles of cards my classmates had sent me. I thought to myself, I truly have the best friends in the entire world. You see, during the darkest times of my entire life, when I was in the deepest valley a kid could be in, it was you, the class of 2020, my peers, my friends that got me through those challenging times. It was going to school every day and being your friend. The book of Matthew tells us, For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2020 is not the greatest class in history because the things they do, rather because of the condition of their heart. You see, there are some things we did not get to do this year, but those things, they are just that, things that we do. They are not who we are. Friends, we will not be remembered by the achievements we have had. We will not be remembered by the abilities we possess. And by golly, if I have anything to do with it, we will not be remembered as the class that didn't get to have their senior year. We will be remembered by who we are. So who are we? When I think of who we are, I think of Chastity, who will hold the door open for literally anybody. I think of Sam, who will brighten up anybody's day. I think of Chloe and the determination she has in playing musical instruments. I think of Brandon and his leadership and professionalism on the basketball court. I think of Macy and how she laughs at everything and makes everyone smile. I think of Caleb Hammond, who is that person you can just get real with. I think of Nicholas Peter Gray, who isn't afraid to work even if it means getting dirty. I think of Kennedy, who reminds us all that empowered women empower women. I think of Jade, whose kindness is contagious. I think of Katie, who is the sweetest soul in the world. I think of Corbin, who is always willing to lend a helping hand. I think of Bren, who has the utmost integrity of anyone I know. I think of Nathan, who told the whole world on KHQA News that the secret to success is to not be a pansy. I think of Logan, who inspires me by his willingness to serve others, serve his country, and serve his God. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not defined by what we do. We are defined by who we are. Parents, do not be proud of your children just because of what we do. Be proud of us because who you have raised us to be. Teachers and coaches, do not be proud of us because of our incredible accomplishments. Be proud of us because who you have helped us to become. My friends, I urge you, recognize you are great because of who you are. Recognize that you are precious in the sight of Almighty God. Please don't change who you are. Don't stop being kind, authentic, funny, determined, intelligent, and loving. Don't ever forget that though we love one another, God first loved us. We are the class of 2020. We are the greatest class to ever graduate from Clark County High School. Not because of what we do, but because of who we are. Don't change who you are. My friends, I love you. God bless you. Thank you.
Congratulations to the class of 2020. We're excited to sit in the front seat as you drive into a new world. Who would have thought when you showed up your first day of kindergarten with bright eyes, a nervous stomach, and a fresh box of crayons, that 13 years later, your high school graduation would have to be streamed on the internet and broadcast on TV? It's not fair that you didn't have a senior prom, a senior trip, or get a chance to TP the principal's house, mainly because there wasn't enough toilet paper. But what you did get, that no other graduating class has ever received, is a reset to a brand new world. You've been given a set of keys to a world that's relying on new ideas, concepts, technologies, and products to be developed. A world that needs new leaders like you from the class of 2020 to grab the steering wheel and not look back. We'll be there with you every step of the way. Shottenkirk Automotive Group, drive your life.